Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure if you end up liking this, you like it for me. Helps me get these videos going, helps the algorithm go. Today, a little something different. A Piaggio BV 400, $73.99. It's a 23 model. I just got done reviewing a 24 Vespa, which Piaggio's Vespa's parent company. But this thing, I tell you what, this is a 400, a GTV was a 300. Anyways, you can see the 400. You do have passenger pegs for your back rider. This thing looks like a sofa. I could probably go to sleep on it. But it's got the HPE motor in it, so I'm sure that Vespa GTV 300 would do like, I had it almost 80 mile an hour. But anyways, LED lights. So let's get going on it. I'm going to turn on the screen. It's got a wireless key, so you push it in. You'll see everything fire up. Your blinkers, ABS brakes, I mean, what else? Horn. So let's get on it and get going. I'm excited to ride this. I've never rode a 400cc scooter. This is probably a 100 mile an hour scooter. It's flat black, but man, it's so cool looking. Bigger wheels and tires on it. It's probably going to ride a little bit more like a motorcycle. Here we go. 11,000 on the tack. I can't imagine 11,000 on a scooter, 11,000 RPM, but that's what it shows. We're going to try and take this thing out on the highway, so we'll see what it does. ABS braking, got a clock in it. I would imagine this thing probably gets, I don't know, with the bigger engine, might be more efficient than the 300. But it's got the HPE motor in it, the high performance engine. Yeah, you can tell it's got a little bit more grunt to it too. Boy, the brakes work good. Yeah, it's got a little bit more grunt than that 300. I tell you what, I've never had so much fun in my life as reviewing these scooters. I grew up on one of these. And man, I wore an older scooter out. Oh yeah, this thing, it goes. No doubt about it. I think you can obviously, you could for surely tell it's 400 cc's. I think it's got a little bit more grunt than that 300, but that 300 was no slouch. I mean, it'd do 75, 78, 80 mile an hour like it was nothing. AJ at Plano Kawasaki, and while I'm on Plano Kawasaki, huge thank you to them for letting me do these first rides for y'all. They've got all this stuff in stock. They're South Texas' largest Kawasaki Aprilia dealer, Suzuki dealer. If there's anything they can do to get you on a motorcycle, they'll do it. So just give them a shout. All their stuff is in the description of all my videos. They've got some really good aggressive financing right now through the major manufacturers. I think 5%. If you got like a 700 beacon score, I think you can get a high 5%. This would probably be something you write a check for though, 7,500 bucks. No gears, it's all automatic. So if you wanted to start riding a motorcycle or a scooter and were intimidated by gears, this is automatic, so wouldn't be a problem. We better go. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, it'll go, this thing. Let's see if we can jump up here on the highway a little bit and see what it'll do. Turn this blinker on. Man, the brakes are super good. Not too much, but they definitely work. I mean, even if you had to grab them in a hurry, it wouldn't put you over the bars. Of course, it really can't because it's got anti-lock brakes. So if you got in a tricky situation or hit a little bit of dirt or something, the anti-lock brakes would help there. 30, 50, 60. This thing will fly. I tell you what, I like the little bit taller wheels and tires. Maybe the tires are a little bit thinner or a little bit skinnier. I kind of like it. I like the way it handles. Handles a little bit like a motorcycle. Not as close to like a scooter with the smaller, you know, shorter wheel. And this thing's super smooth. You could buy this and ride it to work every day. Probably for, if you live within 30-40 miles of your job, probably a gallon of gas would get you there. $3.50, $4 depending on where you live. I live in Texas, so gas right now, the cheap stuff's like $3.50 a gallon. I want to see if that thing, how far, if that thing will get up to, I don't think I got the nerve to get up to 11,000 on the tag. It definitely goes though. The wind buffeting, yeah, it's not even really hit my eyes, believe it or not. Back when I used to be a smoker, I'd be smoking on my motorcycle if I really, you know, wanted a cigarette bad. I'm sure you could you could probably smoke on this. I don't know if you'd want to leave it in your mouth, but I mean, that, if that tells you how good the buffeting wind is, it's going around this windshield. I can feel a little bit of wind probably up there. There's where the wind starts on the side, so your helmet's totally in the wow, man, impressive. I'd have probably gotten hurt on one of these back when I was a kid. I didn't have a 80 mile, 90 mile an hour scooter. I think it did about 35, 38, and it did all 35 and 38 every time I sat on it. Usually within the first 2 miles, it was wide open to the end of the street. Pretty cool. Excellent vision out of the mirrors. Looks like you can sync your phone up with it. I'm not double for sure on that. You could look it up. Look up the specs on this, but like I say, it's a Piaggio, which is basically Vespa. It's their parent company. I believe they finance Vespa, or they're the, it's kind of like a conglomerate of companies, but I'm about 220 pounds. It pulls me no problem. Footrests are real comfortable. You've got this little clip here for groceries. If you wanted to go get some groceries, you could clip your groceries in there, your bag of groceries. Oh yeah. Got your fuel gauge, temperature gauge, tack, mile per hour. Of course, you could switch it to kilometers per hour. This thing's super steady. Kind of feels like a little road racing scooter. I call it a scooter. It's 400cc. I think that probably takes it out. It's probably technically a scooter, but oh yeah, there's sport bikes that are 400cc, so it probably qualifies for a scooter or moped license though. I don't know about in Europe. Somebody can leave a comment on that, but I know they've got different level licenses or you know, you have to qualify for so long on a smaller bike, and I think it goes 125 to 300. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody will let me know, but this is a perfect little cruising out Sunday, Saturday afternoon, right up to Sonic, ride to the local pub. This is, man, the brakes are super good too. I mean, I'm jamming, I can jam it on. It's not going to throw you over. There was an anti-lock brake, come on. Stopped it from sliding out from under me. Pretty cool. Running just cool as cool can be. So tell me, I've got access to Kawasaki's, Vespas, Suzuki's, Aprilias. Tell me what you want to ride if I haven't already. I'm going to be riding at least 1 to 2 bikes every week. I usually try and post every Wednesday, but sometimes I'm not able to do that. I took a full-time job, or I had a full-time job, but I work for a school district. We've got 400 buses, and I took a parts manager position. I've been in it about 3.5 weeks. It's 65 hours a week, but I really enjoy it. It's the best place in the world I've ever worked. I've worked there about 12 to 14 years, but we'll get up here and I'll jump off of it and give you one more look with it. I like it. I really like it. I may be buying me one of these scooters. Can y'all hear that? I mean, it's got plenty of get up and go. Plenty of torque. Put that blinker on. Plenty of ground clearance if you really wanted to lean the thing over. It'll just get with it. I mean, I don't know how fast this would do. I'm gonna say probably over 90, because that GTV would run, it'd run 80 like it was no problem, and I'd almost tell you that it run 90. I wouldn't put $1,000 on it, but I'd say it would. So this thing goes. I'm sure y'all could probably hear a little bit of that, but I'll get off of it. Man, there goes the anti-lock brakes. That's perfect. That way you're never gonna over brake the thing. The computer's gonna help you if you need it to. We'll get off and take one more look at it, and I'll walk around it real slow. Let me see if I can find the kickstand. Yep, there it is. There we go. You put the kickstand down, it kills the motor. The BV400, man, what a surprise. These things are pretty awesome. See that exhaust pipe? Front and rear disc brakes. You've got storage under here as well. Passenger pegs you can fold up. LED front light, LED blinkers. Vespa, I see why you're #1 in the market. Piaggio, I see why y'all are #1. You got a class leading product right here. Anyways, hey, thanks for watching. If you got something from it, make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got your bell notifications on. And we'll see you on the next one. And here's 2 videos that YouTube thinks you ought to watch. Thanks for riding along with me.